Okay, welcome to Sunrise Stretch. I'm Michelle. I will be guiding you through today. I'm going to give you a moment to just read through our exercise disclaimer. Today we will need a mat. Bare feet is ideal, but not required. A chair if you have it and you want to use it, but everything can be simply done on the mat. But take a moment to read through the disclaimer. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to step onto our mat. Feet flat to the earth, nice and tall. Let's just take a few moments to breathe deep, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And let's add some arm movement to that. Inhaling the arms up, exhaling the hands coming to our chest. Inhaling up and exhaling. Another deep breath in and out. Let's add a little torso rotation to that breath. Inhale the arms up, opening the arms, a little twist. Inhaling back up to center. Exhaling to the other side. Moving at your own breathing pace. One more breath. Inhaling the arms back up to center. Let's move to lateral flexion. One arm up, one arm down. Holding the pose. Breathing deep. Inhaling both arms up. Exhaling lateral flexion the other side. Deep breaths. Inhaling back up to center and releasing the arms down. Let's move to our shoulders. Inhaling, bring the shoulders up to our ears. Exhale and lower the shoulders down. Lifting up and down. Up and down. Moving our shoulders into a circle, rotating back. Big shoulder circles. Deep breath. And then finding a comfortable place for our shoulders to rest. Coming to our hands, let's clasp the hands in front of us. Turn the hands inside out, pressing away. Lowering the chin to the chest if we wish. Deep breaths. And on our next inhale, lifting the arms up overhead, keeping the hands clasped. Give a little gaze upward. And bring our gaze back forward, but leave the hands there. Lifting up as we stretch over to one side. And let's come back to center. Give a little lift up, stretching over to the other side. Coming back to center, releasing the arms down. We're going to clasp the hands behind the back. If we can't clasp the hands, that's quite all right. Just reach the arms back as if you were holding a giant ball. If you're seated in a chair that has a back, you can reach behind and hold onto the back of the chair if that feels comfortable as well. Breathing deep, give a little lift into that chest. And let's release. Coming back to center, let's move into a little bit of a cat-cow. So either standing or seated. Inhale, lifting head and chest. Exhale, rounding, bringing the belly button in toward the spine, chin to the chest. We can do this just with our spine, or we can add our arms as well. Nice deep breaths as we move back and forth. One more inhale. Exhaling back to a neutral spine. Coming to our hands, pressing forward as if we're saying stop with our hand, gently pulling our fingers back toward our bodies. Breathing deep. Same hand, aiming the fingers down, and gently pull those fingers back toward the body. And let's switch hands. Other hand, fingers up, gently pull back. And fingers down, gently pull back. And let's spread those fingers really wide with our hands and then make a nice tight fist. Expand the fingers, make a nice tight fist. One more time, expand the fingers. Nice tight fist. And then we shake it all out. Excellent. Bringing the hand to the shoulder. Opposite hand grabs that elbow, gently pulling it back as far as we feel comfortable. So reaching that back hand down the back. And again, maybe you only get this far. That's okay. Quite all right. As long as you are feeling the stretch, move to whatever depth of the stretch is comfortable for you. And releasing, switching our sides, hand to the shoulder, opposite hand grabs that elbow, gently pulling it back. Again, pulling it back to that comfort level for you. Breathing deep. And releasing. Coming to our head now. Tipping our ear toward our shoulder. Opposite hand, if we'd like, can reach around behind the back to add in a little extra sensation for that stretch. You may not need that hand to wrap around. Might feel perfectly comfortable with the arm at the side. Either position works, allowing gravity to just gently pull the head down toward the ear so that it's not being forced by you, just releasing to gravity. Deep breath. On your next inhale, coming back up to center, switching sides, ear to the shoulder. Again, allowing gravity to gently pull the head down. Opposite hand can just rest at the side or reach around behind the back. Deep breaths. On our next inhale, lifting the head back up to center. One more upper body before we tackle the lower body. Taking our hands and reaching them behind us just to grab the fingertips. If that feels comfortable, we can grab the fingers, we can grab our wrists, or we can even reach to our elbows. But moving to whichever position you feel most comfortable with. This helps to open the chest and shoulders, especially since we're hunched forward so often. Deep breaths. And release. Next, we're going to take a lunge stance to the side, soft bend in the knees, ball of the foot to the earth. Hands could be on the hips, they could be reaching out to the sides, whatever feels most comfortable, but pressing that heel down in toward the earth. Nice deep breaths, getting a nice calf stretch, keeping the spine nice and long, staying tall. And then moving to a hamstring stretch. So placing the weight on that back foot, front foot is flexed, leg is straight, hands to the thigh, keeping a nice long spine so that the chest is lifted. Getting that stretch up the back of that front leg. From here, moving into a quadricep stretch. So placing the weight on that front foot. Back toes can reach to the mat. If you have a chair that's stable nearby and you want to put that foot up on the chair, that's possible too. Grabbing the pants, if that's an option, or the ankle. Arm could be on a wall, out to the side, on our hip, wherever feels comfortable for you to hold your balance. Focusing on a fixed spot straight ahead also helps. Deep breaths. And then releasing that leg. Standing out wide on our mat, toes angled out. Do a few moonflowers, reaching those arms up. Exhale and sink. Inhale and lift. If your knees are feeling a little uncomfortable today, you certainly don't have to bend the knees and can just do the arms. Just getting a little more circulation going. 2 more deep breaths. And let's take it to a lunge position on the other side. Follow the foot to the earth. Get a soft bend in our knees. Reaching that heel back. Hands to the hips, out to the sides. Whatever feels most comfortable for you today. Deep breaths. And then we're going to put our weight on that back leg. Flex the front foot, straighten the front leg, reach back with the tailbone, keeping the chest lifting outward. A nice hamstring stretch on that front leg. I'm going to bring our weight onto this front leg, coming to our quad stretch. So, toes to the mat, foot up on a stable chair, grabbing the pants or the ankle, finding that balance. Opposite hand can be holding onto a wall, reaching out, reaching up, hand on the head, finger to the nose, finding a fixed spot to focus on straight ahead. Also focusing on the breath helps to keep with balance. And releasing down. Taking it out, we're going to come down to the mat now. Coming down to a seated position, nice and tall, feet flat to the earth. And let's just take a moment to embrace the length in our spine, taking the feet into whatever comfort level we have, bringing the hands behind us, and lift through the chest. Get a nice lift. Maybe give the shoulder blades a gentle squeeze toward each other. And then releasing forward so that we're rounding the back. Head comes between the knees. Arms wrap around our legs. Excellent. Bringing the body upright. Let's extend one leg out straight. Other knee bent in for a seated twist. We can stay straight if we'd like. The goal is to get into that twist, hugging the knee, gazing over the shoulder. Nice deep breaths, keeping the chest lifted. And left legs, bending the other leg out straight, hugging the knee in, nice and tall, getting that lift through the chest, and then turning into the knee, gazing over the shoulder. Deep breaths. And then coming back to center. Coming down onto our backs now. Moving to our figure 4 stretch. So crossing one leg over the other, ankle to knee. Knee floats out to the side. And then lifting that floor leg in toward the chest. We can, if we wish, pull from behind the thigh and enhance that stretch. Nice deep breaths. Remember that if we're pulling from behind the thigh, but our shoulders and neck start to come off the floor, then we want to release that. We don't want to add any extra tension to our upper body. From here, let's release, bringing that foot back to the floor, but leave that leg crossed. The leg that is crossed, we're going to slide over so that it's now crossed thigh to thigh. Arms come out to the side, moving into a laying spinal twist. We're going to let those knees float over to one side. So if our left leg is crossed over, we're going to allow those knees to drift over to the right. If our right leg is on the top, our knees can then drift over to the left. Deep breath. And the knees won't necessarily touch the floor. That's quite all right. Breathing deep. And then let's come back to center. Unfolding the legs, feet flat to the earth. Whichever leg needs to go next, cross it over, ankle to knee. This is for our hip opener. Bringing that leg in, reaching through and behind if we wish. And again, if reaching behind the thigh adds too much pressure, we can just lift that leg and let it be. Breathing into the hips. Taking the breath anywhere where we feel tension at any time during our stretches. And let's release that leg down, but leave the legs crossed. Whichever leg is on top, slide it over so that it's crossed thigh to thigh, arms out to the sides, and allow the knees to drift over. Again, if the left leg is crossed on top, the knees drift to the right. If the right leg is crossed on the top, the knees drift over to the left. Nice deep breaths, allowing the shoulders to stay on the floor. Arms relaxed out to the sides. Nice deep breath. And then let's bring those legs back to center. Hugging the knees into the chest. Maybe we add a little rock side to side, letting the floor massage our backs. And finding that space in the center. I'm going to do one more stretch. So from here, flexing the feet, arms on the inside of the knees to grab our toes. We can stay right here, but our goal is to reach our heels up toward the sky. Reaching that place that feels comfortable for you. But as our heels reach up, our knees are reaching down. This is our happy baby pose. It's also referred to as dead bug, but happy baby is just a happier sounding name. So I usually use that. Releasing the knees toward the earth, reaching the heels up to the sky. And then let's release, hugging the knees in once more. And then working our way up to a seated position, whether we roll up forward or roll to the side, doesn't matter. But we come back up seated. Any comfortable seat that works for us today. Nice and tall, shoulders down and back. Inhaling the arms up. Exhaling the hands in toward our chest. 2 more deep breaths, bringing in that positive energy. Exhaling. 1 more deep breath. I thank you for joining me today. May you go with peace, love, and gratitude. Have a wonderful day. And remember, you can always catch these videos on the Fitness Center's YouTube channel if you want to come back and do them another time. Thank you.